What's going on, guys? It's Joey and I'm back with another video. So as you can see, I'm on Madden today, and what we're going to be doing is a 3 to 4 year rebuild on a very interesting team. The team that we're rebuilding today is the Houston Texans. Now, I say interesting team because this team is definitely interesting. Bill O'Brien in the offseason traded away arguably the best receiver in the NFL. And that's a questionable move. But now at this point, look at this. They traded for David Johnson. David Johnson is not the running back that he was in 2016. In 2016, he had an MVP-like season. But ever since then, he has regressed horribly because he can't stay healthy. Obviously, Deshaun Watson, probably a top 5 quarterback in the league last year. As far as throwing wise and passing wise, you want to see more from Deshaun. And he definitely throws the ball. I'm not saying he doesn't, but you feel like he doesn't throw it as much as you think he does. And I want to see him throw the ball more. And I feel like that's going to happen a lot this next year because you lose DeAndre Hopkins. So what the Texans are going to do, they're going to be like, hey, let's see how good Deshaun Watson really is without a top 3 receiver in the league. And even after trading DeAndre Hopkins, you still have a very solid receiver core in Will Fuller, Brandon Cooks, Kenny Stills, and Randall Cobb, and even Kiki Kute or Kuti. I think I'm saying that right. I'm not sure. But he's young. He could definitely develop. He's a very solid receiver. It's just he's inconsistent at times. And I was watching their regular season game with the Chiefs last season. Deshaun Watson and Kiki, they weren't always on the same page, and that's something they need to work out. Because there were some plays where Deshaun Watson would throw the ball, and he wanted Kiki to turn the Jets on. And understand, I don't want Brandon Cooks, I want Kiki. Because Kiki is very, very fast. He has a 91 speed in this. And that translates into real life. He's really fast. So he lobbed the ball up and expected him to turn on the Jets and go get it, but he didn't. So understandably, Deshaun Watson was kind of annoyed. But as you can see here, this is probably the worst offensive line in football outside of Laramie Tunzel. He's the only good offensive lineman on this entire team. I mean, you have Zach Fulton, but how good is he really? And then I believe this is Titus Howard. Yes, it is Titus Howard. He was a rookie last year. This will be his second season, this upcoming season. He was decent. He was okay. He wasn't phenomenal, but he was definitely decent. And then, is this Nick Martin? Yes, this is Nick Martin. I'm going to upgrade the center. I am probably going to upgrade every single spot on this offensive line except for Titus Howard, just solely on the fact that he's so young. And also, last season, Darren Fells was an absolute beast for the Texans. I'm not exactly sure how many touchdowns he caught or how many yards, but this dude was a beast for them. He revitalized his career last season, and he was Watson's #1 target outside of DeAndre Hopkins. But now we get to the running back core. Lamar Miller, Duke Johnson, and David Johnson. I know this might sound crazy, but I'm starting Duke Johnson over Lamar Miller because Lamar Miller is currently a free agent and hasn't been signed by anybody. So I don't really see why he's still on this team. Oh, and I uploaded Madden 21 rosters, by the way. That's why I'm saying that, because Lamar Miller is currently a free agent, and I'm not quite sure Houston's going to re-sign him. But now we get over the defensive side of things. I'm going to upgrade strong safety. That's the first thing I look at. Eric Murray is solid, but we can certainly upgrade that. Brennan Scarlett, he's young. I'll probably look to develop him. McKinney, really, really good. Zach Cunningham, he's a beast. Definitely going to have him be our middle linebacker of the future. And Whitney Merciless. Now, you look at his age, 29, that's not old. According to Madden, that's old. As soon as you turn 30 years old in this game, regression hits you like a train. You regress so fast when you reach the age of 30 in this, so after this season, he is probably going to regress from an 82 to like a 77. That's just not realistic. But Justin Reed, dude is a beast. I like how he doesn't have a face scan because I'm pretty sure that's not what he looks like. Oh, no, it is. No, it is. But, I mean, the reason I said that is because some of the players in this game, they have an actual picture of their face but don't have a face scan. So that's why I was acting like that. But he's really good. He's going to be the starting free safety of the future unless we find a new free safety and I move him to strong, which that might happen. But then we get to the cornerback spot. I love Gary and Conley. I think he could certainly be something. So I'm going to keep him around on the team unless he gets to his contract year and wants way too much money. If he wants way too much, I'm not bringing him back. But Bradley Roby, he's okay. And then Vernon Hargreaves, he was released from Tampa Bay, and Houston jumped right on him to sign him, and he was pretty effective when he got signed by Houston. He's very young. He's got a solid core to him. He's 205, and I'm pretty sure he's got some decent speed, yeah. But as you can look there at his stats, he's not the best in zone or man. He's definitely more of a press coverage corner. So I just don't know about that. And then we get the Tim Jernigan. He's probably going to be the D tackle of this team throughout this whole rebuild. He's only 26, and he could potentially get a Dove upgrade. So I'm looking for that to happen. I think he's super solid. I think losing DJ Reader and then having Tim Jernigan, I think that's okay. I think you're going to be fine with that. And then obviously, in my opinion, the best defensive end in football, outside of Aaron Donald. I know Aaron Donald switches from inside and out. He lines up at D tackle sometimes. J.J. Watt is a beast. He just needs to stay healthy. And over here, we have Duke Ejiofor. I'm not sure how to say his last name. I'm sorry. If there's a Texans fan watching this or someone who really likes him, I butchered his last name, so I apologize. But he's super young. He's 24. He might be the starting right end of the future, but I don't know. I forgot Houston drafted him. I'm huge on Ross Blacklock. I think he's going to be really, really good. I'm actually going to edit him because when these rookies are made, usually their contracts aren't 4 years, but this guy actually went through and did that. But I'm going to give him star development just because he's a rookie, and I think he should have star development. I'm not going to do that to everybody, but certainly him, because I think Ross Blacklock has the potential to be very, very good. They stole him in the draft. I want to say they drafted him in the 3rd or 4th round, I believe, but he's very, very good. So in free agency and in the draft, we are going to look to get possibly a new defensive end, probably just get depth at the linebacker core, get a new strong safety, upgrade the cornerback position, probably look to upgrade the running back position because this is not the best running back core. It's solid, but And the biggest thing of all, upgrade this entire offensive line, and yes, that means Darren Fells too. That means I'm going to go through and just completely revamp this team, even if it means trading someone like a Lamar Miller or David Johnson, and because David Johnson's contract is huge. But nonetheless, I am going to sim to midseason, and I will see you there. Alright, so we are here at the midseason mark, and that is pretty impressive. We're 5-3. Even with this mediocre of a team, we're still in the playoff hunt. Jacksonville's 1-7. You're going to see that. They might not even win any games at all next year. I mean, Jacksonville is a dumpster fire right now. But we're going to go ahead, look at the midseason stats, see how everyone's doing. Deshaun Watson is exceptional. You'd like to see him throw less interceptions, which him throwing 9 interceptions through the midseason mark in this is kind of unrealistic because last season he threw only 6 interceptions or something like that. So I'd like to see him lower those interceptions, but with the receiver core that he has, I'm not surprised. Rushing, Duke Johnson Jr. has been okay. Deshaun Watson is our second leading rusher. Well, that's sad. I mean, not really. Deshaun's a runner, so not really. Brandon Cooks, I really hope he can revitalize his career here in Houston. And the reason I say revitalize is because his first 4 seasons in the league, he was an animal. He had like 1,100 yards and just about 10 touchdowns in his first 4 seasons. And when he went to the Rams, he was extremely injury prone and just couldn't stay healthy. So I really want to see him revitalize his career here in Houston. Will Fuller having a breakout year. I think that's going to happen next season. I think you can expect Will Fuller, if he stays healthy, to have a fantastic season. We're going to look at the defensive stats. McKinney is great. I can't say his first name, I'm sorry, and I don't want to butcher it. I do not want to butcher it. I hate butchering names because then I just feel like a jackass, so I just don't want to do that. Who's leading us in sacks up to this point? It is JJ. I thought it would be. Whitney Merciless is having a really good season up to this point. Who leads us in interceptions? Eric Murray, the strong safety I said I want to get rid of. Well, not get rid of, but upgrade. But we are 5-3 at this point. Hopefully, we make the playoffs. That would be awesome. But before I simulate, I'm going to load in the 2021 NFL draft class, which includes players like Trevor Lawrence, Penei Sewell, Jamar Chase, Justin Fields, and they're all phenomenal players. I think the player that we really want to target here is Penei Sewell. I'm not even going to scout him because I know exactly how good Penei Sewell is. And I know, you're probably like, wait a minute, Laramie Tunsil plays left guard. Why are you going to take another left guard? Listen, I know he's an outside tackle, and an outside tackle moving into the inside is not always the best thing to do, but I think Penei Sewell is so good that he can play on the interior offensive line. So hopefully he falls in the draft. I highly doubt he's going to, but nonetheless, we are going to sim to the playoffs. Hopefully we make it. All right, so we are here at the end of the season, and by the looks of things, it doesn't look like we made the playoffs. Which we didn't. We went 8-8, and the Colts finished better than us just because they had 2 ties. That's despicable, man. I hate when that happens in this game. It sucks. But we're gonna look at the end of the season stats. Wow. Okay, Deshaun Watson got a lot of passing yards, but after the midseason mark, he did not find the end zone all that much. I believe at the midseason mark, he had like 18 touchdowns. So that means the second half of the season, he only threw 11. And he only threw 4 picks the second half of the season. Well, he only threw 11 touchdowns the second half of the season. We're definitely going to have to upgrade that receiver core. But Duke Johnson Jr. was okay. You really don't want to see that out of your starting running back. Only 580 yards with 3 touchdowns. So I think I'm definitely going to draft a running back in this draft. I don't think I'm going to take him in a super early round. I don't think I'm going to take him in the top 3 rounds. It might be a 4th or 5th round pick because I think running back is the most replaceable position in football. But Deshaun Watson on the ground added 2 more touchdowns to his touchdown total. Brandon Cooks was phenomenal. This is what I want to see from him. Look, I was just talking about how he had 1,100-yard receiving seasons, and that's exactly what he did. Will Fuller, phenomenal second receiver. That's what he played next to Brandon Cooks. I mean, in all reality, he's probably going to be the number 2 receiver, and Brandon Cooks is probably going to be your number 1. Let's look at the defensive stats. McKinney, phenomenal. 108 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, 1 sack, and 1 interception. Really good. Who led us in sacks? I'm going to guess JJ. Yep, 9 sacks, 13 tackles for loss. Exceptional. Whitney Merciless, great season. Tim Jernigan, really, really good season. 12 tackles for loss. Okay, so we were definitely getting pressure to the backfield. That's what I like to see. Who led us in interceptions? Eric Murray. He had 2 interceptions at the midseason mark. So our secondary completely crapped out the second half of the season. That's probably why we didn't make the playoffs. Our secondary crapped out the second half of the season, and Deshaun Watson didn't find the end zone. So there are going to be a lot of changes this offseason. But we had the 7th best offense and the 2nd best defense? Wow. And we didn't make the playoffs. We were top 10 in both aspects, and it did not make the playoffs. Wow. Do we have any dev upgrades? Let's see. So, obviously he has star development. I knew that. Ooh, Zach Fulton got hurt. Okay. That is probably why we sucked. And Matt Sharping did as well. Oh, his name's Max. I swear to God there's a Matt Sharping. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just delusional. I swore his name was Matt. But clearly it's not. But he got injured. So our offensive line got worse than what it is. How is that possible? I have no clue. Duke Johnson Jr. also got hurt. Lamar Miller was so unproductive. I'm probably going to look to move him for like a 3rd round pick or something. And I think that's a lot of value for Lamar Miller. He kind of fell off since his Miami days. But we're going to simulate to the offseason, make some big free agency moves, hopefully, and look to acquire some more picks for the draft. All right, so we are here in the offseason. Now, we have some free agents. Bradley Roby, we are very desperate for corners, so I think the realistic thing to do here is to probably re-sign him. I think that would be realistic just because of the desperation at cornerback for Houston. So we're going to offer him this 1-year, $10 million extension. I'm not franchise tagging him. Yeah, I'm not giving you 15 mil. Lamar Miller, I'm letting walk. Yeah, I'm going to let him walk. I mentioned I wanted to trade him for a 3rd round pick, but I'm not going to pay him like $5 million a year. I don't think it's worth it. Darren Fells, I'm going to let walk. Dylan Cole, yeah, I'm not re-signing any of these players. So now we're going to look at the team, see what we really, really need to go ahead and upgrade. I mean, I basically know what I want to upgrade. Titus Howard is going to be up to a 75. Zach Fulton will be a 75. Laramie Tunzel is great. So honestly, I really think I only want to upgrade center and left guard, but I also certainly want to upgrade this receiver position. Kenny Stills is good, but it's Kenny Stills. I mean, he's a slot receiver, in my opinion. I think that's probably his best skill-based position at the receiver position. He's definitely a deep threat as well, but he just suits a slot receiver to me just because of his height and his speed. Randall Cobb is another slot guy, but having Randall Cobb on this team, I feel like it doesn't make sense. How did he do last season? I don't even think I saw what he did. What did he do? He had 4 receptions for 56 yards. Yeah, I'm probably just going to trade him because it's Randall Cobb. Obviously, I'm not hating on him saying he's bad or anything, but I just don't think he fits this team. I really don't think he does. I mean, clearly, if he's not going to be used in the offense, why have him here and just have his money take up cap space? So we're definitely going to move him for a draft pick. Let's see if we got any dev upgrades on the defensive side of the ball, and we did not. Vernon Hargraves, I'm probably going to keep around. Gary Conley is going to be probably the number 1 corner this next season, unless we go out and sign someone like Kendall Fuller, who is Really, really good. Um, so I'm going to advance the week. First, I'm going to upgrade the players because I forgot to do that at the midseason mark. Ross Blacklock has 5 XP points. Wow, that's awesome. But just upgraded the players. Now I'm going to simulate a week and we're going to start making offers. All right, so we are here at free agency. The first thing I'm going to do here is trade Randall Cobb. Like I said, I just don't think he fits the team. So I'm going to deal Randall Cobb to a team that is very desperate for receivers, like the Bills. They have high interest in him. The Broncos have very high interest. But I don't think the Broncos trading for him makes much sense either because they just acquired Jerry Jeudy and KJ Hamler in the draft. So I don't think trading for him makes sense. I think the Colts trading for him would be very likely because if we go and look at their receiver core real quick, they have nobody. Absolutely nobody outside of T.Y. Hilton and Paris Campbell. You lost Devin Funchess, who, I mean, really wasn't even that effective to begin with. But I wonder if I can get one of these seconds for him. I know that's a lot for Randall Cobb, but can I get a second, a fifth, and a seventh next year? To even this out, I am going to throw in a 4th round pick. I think that's reasonable. I'm going to throw in a 4th next year. See what they think of this. Oh, they did it. Wow, did I even need to throw in that 4th rounder? Probably not. But we just stocked up on some more draft picks, which I love. But now we're going to go and try to see what free agents we can pick up. Chris Jones. I don't want to go after a D-tackle just because of Ross Blacklock and Tim Jernigan. Levi Wallace is very solid. Kelechi Osemele. Now that might be a left guard I look at. Yeah, I'm going to offer him a 2-year deal to come play in Houston. Now, it's not very logical to bring in an old offensive lineman in this, but I see this as a realistic move, and wow, Arizona offered him a lot of money. But I see this as a realistic move just because Houston's so desperate for offensive line, and I still have to offer more? Are you kidding? I'm offering him $11 million a year. There we go. Gus Edwards, he's really good for the Ravens. I'm not gonna sign him. Tyrone Crawford, I guess I could move him to right end, but I don't think it's worth it. Muhammad Wilkerson, former Defensive Player of the Year. Tajay Sharp. Now that would be interesting. Jake Hollister, Giovanni Bernard, but I am going to go to the cornerbacks, see what's here. Levi Wallace might be the corner that we go out and try to sign. No one's offered anything on him, and just so other teams feel intimidated to put in an offer, I'm going to give more money than what he's asking. So there we go. We got 99 total points on him. Who's here at strong safety? Okay, nobody. I mean, Matthias Farley is an upgrade, but by 1 overall, not worth it. Who is here at the running back? Austin Eckler. He's a scheme fit. He wants a lot of money, though. That's about $11 to $12 million a year. Is it worth it? Probably. But I don't think I'm going to sign him. I definitely think, out of realism, I'm going to draft one. What's here at receiver? Zach Pascal. Tajay Sharp seems so enticing to me just for some reason, and I don't know why. I think he's a decently skilled receiver, but do I want to sign him? I mean, the only reason I'm tempted to sign him is because of his age. He's very young, and he's been in the league 4 years. So he has experience, so I'm definitely going to offer him a deal. If he doesn't accept it, he doesn't accept it. But let's simulate the week, see if we get any of those guys that we just offered to. I'm really, really hoping that we do because we're very desperate in those positions. So The biggest one for me is if Kelechi Osemele, and he does. That is great. So we definitely just boosted the offensive line with that. We need tight end very badly, which I'm probably going to end up drafting. Titus Howard, Zach Fulton. Now we just need to replace Nick Martin. I'm probably also going to do that in the draft. I mean, we have a plethora of picks. Who else could we possibly look to trade? I know that doesn't sound, extremely realistic, but I think it is. And I think the guy we're going to trade is David Johnson. I'm going to look at his contract. Oh, it's not as big as I thought. I swear his contract was so much bigger than that. But I definitely think we're going to trade him. I think we're going to try to dump him for probably another third or fourth round pick. I think that's reasonable value for him. It's not great value, but it's not awful. Imagine if we traded him back to Arizona. That would be hilarious. None of these teams are super interested in David Johnson. So, realistically, I'm going to have to really stack some value with David Johnson to try to trade him away. I think a team that could really use him is the Rams, because if we look at their running back core, they went out and signed Lamar Miller. Okay, well, how about I trade David Johnson there? Can we get your third and a sixth? Probably not doable. Yeah, no. I'm probably gonna have to throw in probably like a fourth rounder. You know what? I'm acquiring another third for this year, so we'll have 2 third-round picks. So I'm okay giving up this fourth, but hopefully this does it, and we are so close. I think if I throw in like a 6th-round pick, I think we'll be there. So I'll throw in a 6th-round pick for next year. Hopefully that does it. Are you kidding? Okay, I'm probably gonna have to throw in a 5th then. So I will throw in a 5th next year. I don't want to give up a 5th this year. I think that 5th-round pick could certainly be somewhat valuable, but I might also want to trade up or down in the draft, so those 5th-round picks could be used for value. So we are now going to simulate to the draft, as we have a lot of draft picks. So hopefully we can really make some changes to this team and upgrade the hell out of it. Alright, so it is draft day. We're just going to go straight into this and see. We have the 17th pick. I'm okay with that. We're not going to get Penei Sewell. I'm pretty sure I know who Jacksonville is going to take here. I'm quite confident they're taking Trevor Lawrence. No! They really want Gardner Minshew to be their quarterback of the future. Wow. Who does Detroit take? That's interesting. I don't think they really need to upgrade the receiver spot, but they thought Jamar Chase was the best player available at their standards. Oh, Micah Parsons to the Redskins. The defense just got even better. That's incredible. Who do the Jets take? Caden Stearns. He has potential. He's going to be good. And Trevor Lawrence goes to Miami. They just draft Tua and then tell him, nope, you're out of here. We like Trevor Lawrence better. Wow. That's crazy. Patrick Surtain goes to Carolina. That is a great pick for them. Jay Tufele to Denver. Wow. He is going to be a great addition to them. I'm only going to show the top 10 here because I think that's really important. But Rondale Moore. Okay, so Minnesota is rebuilding that receiver core, and Rondale Moore is going to be really, really good for them. Sean Wade to I almost called them Carolina. That is LA. That's a good pickup for them. I mean, because outside of Jalen Ramsey, they have nobody, and Jalen Ramsey also said he might leave because the Rams didn't offer an extension on him. But we're going to simulate the Bills pick. Who do they take? Jackson Carman. Interesting. But we're going to sim to our pick. See who's on the board. If there's nothing logical here, I am going to trade down. Alex Leatherwood is here. Alex Leatherwood is here. I think that's who I'm taking. Justin Fields is still not off the board. Rashad Bateman, Marvin Wilson's here. Travis Etienne is here. I'm going to add both him and Najee Harris to my draft board. Hopefully they fall. Trey Lance still hasn't gone. Chuba Hubbard is going to be, I think, really good in the NFL, so I will definitely put him there. Justin Ross. Tyler Linderbaum. I'm not going to draft a center yet. I think the likely pick here is Alex Leatherwood, who we are going to take. He's a 77 with hidden development. That is awesome. So I think at this point, just because we took another right tackle and Titus Howard plays right tackle, I think the likely move would to be moving Titus Howard probably inside. I think he could definitely play inside, but let's simulate to our next pick. See who's here. I don't know if any of the players that I had on my draft board are still going to be here. Nope, they all got taken. That sucks. Jamie Newman's here. Kylan Hill. Now that would be quite interesting. He's got potential. I think he could be something special. Trey Hill at center. I'm not taking a center in the second round. I just don't want to do that. Devontae Smith and Chris Olave are both here. No. I don't want to take receiver just because I signed to Jay Sharp. So I think Kylan Hill is the move here. I think that's who we're taking. He's a 75 with normal dev. Oh, that normal dev sucks. I hate seeing that. But we get a solid running back, so I'm not too upset with that. But we're going to trade to our next pick, which is not far. What else? How is Trey Lance not gone yet? Or Jamie Newman? I mean, Jamie Newman's okay. He's not great, but he's still really good. I might take Trey Hill. It's quite possible. That might be the move here. Yeah, I'm not really seeing any more extremely valuable players here at the moment. So we're going to take Trey Hill. He's a decent center. I'm probably going to start him right away. I think I'm going to. So now we're on to the third round. What I'm really looking to probably draft here is probably strong safety or corner. So let's see who's here. Wow. Hamza is still... He's projected to go in the 5th round. I just don't see that happening. I think he's going to go at least in the top 3. I'm taking him. He's a beast. He's a 73 with hidden development. I knew damn well he was not a 5th rounder. That is a steal of a pick right there. So now we have another 3rd round pick. I'm probably going to draft a corner or tight end, depending on who's at the tight end spot. Jeremy Rucker is here. This might be the pick. If there's not a good corner available, I am definitely taking him. Oh, Marco Wilson's here. He's solid, and he fits our scheme. What's that scouting report looking like, or the combine report? I'll add him to the board, but I'm definitely taking tight end here, and Jeremy Rucker is the guy that we're taking. He's a 75 with hidden development. I am drafting so good right now. The best thing to do in this game when playing a franchise is to trust your gut when you see something, because most of the time when you do that, it's very helpful, because then it leans you in the direction, you know that you're making a good pick. So, oh, are you kidding? He got taken. Okay, so now we'll have to see what's here. J.C. Horn, Caleb Farley. J.C. Horn might be the pick here, unless we take Al Blades. That's probably the pick here. I think we're going to take J.C. Horn, just because he fits our scheme. He's a 68, not the best pick. Okay, probably shouldn't have taken him there. But what else do we really need at this point? Oh, depth to the linebacker position. Quincy Roche is still here. Okay. Jermaine Johnson is still here. Pete Werner. Big Cat Bryant from Auburn. Okay, I'm sorry. My Auburn bias is coming out. I have to take him. He's a 66. I don't even care. My Auburn bias came out. I'm sorry. They're my favorite team. I love Auburn. But I think he's actually a really good player. I think he definitely has the potential to break out this year now that Marlon Davidson and Derek Brown are gone. He's probably going to be our number one defender. I think he's got some pretty good potential. But I think that's it for me for the draft. So I'm just going to advance to the end of the draft, and I'll see you at the end of it. All right, so we're at the end of the draft. I'm going to go into the draft recap just to see who else we drafted, because obviously it was automated. So we stopped after Big Cat Bryant. We drafted a quarterback, Brady White out of Memphis. Now, Brady White is interesting. I think he's got boomer bust potential. I definitely see him going in like the 5th or 6th round, maybe even the 7th, possibly even going undrafted. But he's looked okay at Memphis. He hasn't been great, but he definitely has been all right. He's a decent backup. We lost A.J. McCarron, so I'm not upset with that pick. Devontae Wyatt. Now, he's interesting. He's a big run stopper. He is a big boy. I think he can definitely be helpful on that defensive line. His strength is an 89. 78 block shedding is not awful. Okay, so he has no finesse moves, but he's got 73 speed. That's not awful. His acceleration's nice. So he could definitely be a rush D tackle. I think that's definitely where we'll play him. And we get Ambry Thomas. Another corner. A 65 overall in the 7th round is really good. That's not even that bad. He's also a scheme fit. So those are our draft picks. I could go through and look at their dev traits, but I feel like that's a spoiler. I want to play through the season and then see what it is. But we are going to adjust the roster and see what's going on with it here. So we have Alex Leatherwood and Titus Howard. I don't know how I feel about benching Titus Howard. Not benching, but he's not the starter anymore. I don't know how I feel about that. So I might move him to center. His overall is probably going to drop drastically, but I think we're going to move him to center. I mean, he's huge. I think he could definitely be an interior offensive lineman. So we're going to change him to center, see what happens. If his overall doesn't decrease too much, I'll stick him there. But if it does, I don't know where I'm going to move him. His overall stayed the same. Okay, so he's definitely going to be the starting center for the future of this video. And our offensive line looks very, very hopeful up to this point. We just drafted, this is Ty Hill, right? Nope, it's Trey. I just drafted him and forgot his name. We just drafted Trey Hill. I think worst case scenario, what we do with Trey Hill is after Kelechi Osemele's deal is up, we might just move Trey Hill to left guard. I think that's definitely realistic. We got Kylan Hill, who I'm probably going to play over Duke Johnson Jr. No, never mind, I'm not. I think Duke Johnson Jr. is better. I'm liking the receiver rotation. I'm going to change the offensive scheme here real quick, though. Spread, run and shoot. I definitely think this is either a spread offense or a run and shoot. We're going to go spread, just because I think a spread offense really fits Deshaun Watson's play style. Now we're going to look at the defensive side of things. Nasir Al-Din is starting. I don't even care. He's a beast. We got Brennan Scarlett. He's still young, 27. We drafted Big Cat Bryant, who I love. So the defense is definitely better than the offense. What's Austin Black? Or I said Austin. Why did I say Austin? Ross Blacklock is developing so fast. And you know what? I might move him to right end. I think I'm going to. I know he's a scheme fit right now, and usually when you change players' positions, they're not a scheme fit anymore, but I think he could definitely play defensive end. I think he has the versatility to do it. So I'm going to move Blacklock there, see what his overall is. Okay, so he goes down in overall. I'll move him back to D tackle. I just wanted to see what his overall was at right end, but we're definitely going to keep him at D tackle. So now we're going to have a D tackle tandem of Tim Jernigan and Ross Blacklock, which I don't hate at all. Cornerback position, I mean, Vernon Hargreaves is better than he was last year. This cornerback tandem is still not great. Who's playing slot corner? Vernon Hargreaves is. I might play Nasruddin there. I'm going to, just to get that dev upgrade up. He can also play sub linebacker? What can't he do? This is insane. He's going to be so good. I think I like the rest of this. Although I'm probably going to play Big Cat Bryant at rush right end just so he can develop. Kenny Stills playing in the slot. I like that. Power back Kylan Hill. Yeah, so I like the way this team is going. I am going to simulate this week, so we are in the preseason. Alright, so we are here at the beginning of the second season of this rebuild. Now, with this team, it's pretty young with all of the new additions we brought in, so we might not make the playoffs again this year, but I certainly want to have more than 8 wins. I'm really hoping for at least 10, but I'm going to simulate to the midseason mark, and when we get there, hopefully we have a winning record. Alright, so we are here at the midseason mark, and we are 6-1. Let's go! I love the way this team is shaping up. We went from a mediocre team to a really good team. Hopefully we don't crap out the rest of the season like we did last year, and Deshaun Watson is an expiring deal. I'm bringing him back, and I'm throwing him a bag. 7 years, $236 million. If you don't accept this, you're crazy. Alright, good. Laramie Tunzel's also here. I'm going to throw him a bag too. He just got paid in real life. He got paid huge. I think he got the biggest contract of an offensive lineman ever. And understandably, I mean, Houston's so desperate for that spot. They were willing to do anything to bring him back. Kenny Stills, I don't know if I want to bring him back. Zach Cunningham, he's out. He's injured. I'm going to extend him for another 4 seasons. Okay, he wants a higher salary. Gary and Conley, I am bringing back. I'm going to re him up on a 5-year deal. 5 years, $32 million, and he accepts. So I'm going to go ahead and look at the midseason mark and check out the stats. Okay. Deshaun Watson is so much more efficient this year. I love to see that. 2 interceptions and a 74 completion percentage. He's been sacked 14 times, though, through 8 games, and you've been sacked 14 times. That's almost 2 sacks a game. Not good. Rushing, Kylan Hill is finding the end zone. Duke Johnson Jr. is not good. He's just not playing well. Receiving, though, yeah, I was just going to say, I think Duke Johnson Jr. is certainly more of a receiving back. Will Fuller's playing great. Kenny Stills is actually having quite a season. If he has, a really good to very decent season, I will bring him back. Brandon Cooks, the yards aren't there, but the touchdowns are. So you love to see that. McKinney having a great year so far. Who's leading us in sacks? Wow. J.J. Watt only has 2.5. Who's leading us in picks? Gary and Conley has 3. Love to see it. So, now that we've seen our team at the midseason mark, I am going to simulate to the playoffs. Hopefully we make it. I mean, we should. If we lose out the rest of the season, I might just end the rebuild there because that is awful. But, anyways, I will see you guys at the end of the season. We are here at the end of the season, I don't think we made the playoffs. We went 8-8 again? This team is the definition of purgatory. Oh my god. Why are they so average? I don't understand this. Deshaun Watson had an MVP-like season. That's incredible. 4,000 yards, 32 TDs, 9 interceptions, and a 70% completion. Kylan Hill, pretty good rookie year. 8 touchdowns, 540 yards. Deshaun Watson, 9 rushing touchdowns. He might get MVP. I'm just saying. He might. Kenny Stills had an amazing year. I'm bringing him back. How do I not? I would be so stupid not to bring him back. Now, Zach Fulton was phenomenal. He let up 1 sack all season. How was Leatherwood? Ooh, he let up 10 sacks. Tunzel let up 11? So you're telling me our best offensive lineman all year was Zach Fulton? Wow. Okay. Oh, wait, I want to look at the defensive stats. My bad. Let's look at the defensive stats here. McKinney was great. Who led us in sacks? What a season. Whitney Merciless, great. Tim Jernigan, really good. Where is J.J. Watt? Did he get hurt? Yep. He broke his collarbone. This is the issue with J.J. He can't stay healthy, even in a video game. But we'll see who led us in picks. I think I just saw that Gary Conlon had 5. No, he had 4. Okay, that's still a really good season. 81 tackles and 4 picks. I'll definitely take that. But we're going to look at the yearly awards. Yes! Deshaun Watson wins his first MVP in the NFL. Now we're going to look at the AFC awards. Offensive Player of the Year goes to Deshaun Watson. Depoy goes to Kenneth Murray, the second-year linebacker out of Oklahoma. Wow. Okay, I saw Myles Garrett, and for some reason, I thought that he wasn't on the Browns, so I was kind of tripping there. Justin Fields goes to Pittsburgh. Wow, what a draft pick that would be for them. You know, Ben Roethlisberger's getting old. You don't really know how much longer he is going to be there. Justin Fields could certainly be the guy they look at. Kylan Hill is 3rd for Offensive Rookie of the Year. All right. J2 Fele. That's probably going to happen. Asante Samuel Jr. He's going to be in the draft next year? Wow. No Texas. Oh, yes. Nasser Ladine is there. Best QB. How does Deshaun Watson win MVP and Offensive Player of the Year, but then not quarterback? Okay. Running back, Derrick Henry. That's so obvious. Best wide receiver goes to Stephon Diggs. Offensive lineman, I'm not going to look at the rest of those. That's just a waste of time. But Deshaun Watson wins his first MVP in the NFL. That's awesome. But now we're going to look, see if there's any dev upgrades. Leatherwood has star. Ruckert has star. There's no upgrades, though. I want to see some color. Come on, let me see an X Factor. Nope. Not even on the defensive side. And Nasser Ladine only has star. I want to see some red in there. Or maybe some yellow at least. So I'm going to upgrade the players real quick. And then I am going to simulate to the offseason. I really don't know what moves to make besides probably upgrading the running back spot and probably the cornerback position. That's probably our biggest need. But I will see you guys in the offseason. We are here in the offseason. Like I said, we are re-signing Kenny Stills. He was our best receiver last year. So I'm going to give him quite a bit of money. 4-year, 40 mil, 10 mil a year. How do I not have the cap room? I have $1 million left. That's not enough? Okay. Wow, he wants 41 mil over 4 years. Yeah, we're definitely not getting him. Yep. Can we franchise tag? I'm not franchise tagging him. 19 million. There's so many players here that we need to bring back. Who is taking up so much money on our team. I swear to God, if it's Kelechi Osemele, it is, isn't it? I threw him a bag, and I probably shouldn't have. No, it's Deshaun Watson. But it's Deshaun Watson. I'm not upset. Laramie Tunzel, that's realistic. He's, like, up until this point, was the only good offensive lineman on the team. Wow, I paid Will Fuller. I paid him a lot of money. McKinney making a lot of money. I'm not going to trade him. That's unrealistic. Garyon Conley has an $11 million bonus. Whoops. Who else is making a lot of money? I paid Tajay Sharp. It is Kelechi Osemele. I knew it. He's making $11 million. So, he's hurt? Are you kidding? So I can't even get rid of his contract? Titus Howard is here. Who else is...